On behalf of our chair, Supervisor Baker, who's on the phone, I'm Vice Chair Jay Wickham, along with Supervisor Ann McDonough. Welcome to the Monday, March 9th, 2020 Board of Supervisors meeting. First is the Pledge of Allegiance. So I'd ask everyone to rise and follow me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on the agenda is public comments. This time, anyone may address the board on matters which are on the agenda. Please go to the podium and state your name and home address. There will be time for public hearings related to zoning. So if you do have a zoning case, you will have an opportunity during the public hearing to voice. But if there's anyone else from the public that would like to give pre-warning to the board related to agenda items, please go to the podium. Seeing no one, we'll move on to the stated agenda. First on the list is proclamations. I believe we have none this morning. No proclamations. The next on the agenda is approval of minutes of the meeting of February 24th and March 6th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I will second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of February 24th and March 6th. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Next item is consent items. We have two consent items. I'll take both of those together unless the board would like to separate those.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent items presented.
Second.
We have a motion and second to present the consent items as presented. I will read both of those. Those are Class BC beer permit from Highway 20 Auto Truck Plaza and a Class BW beer permit for the Dubuque County Firefighters Association. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 No opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Next, we have procurement procedures. 4A, do we have any proof of publications? Looks like we do.
A motion to approve the proof of publication.
I will second that. That's my understanding is that those are for public hearings for today on bids.
It looks like we have notice to the bidders. Got a couple different ones. March 9th. Dyersville.
Yeah, I think it's stuff that's
also
on
Lansing Road and Black Hills Road were also published for today as well.
right.
For
Okay.
sealed bids.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have. Did we get a motion and a second on those?
Got a motion. Ian made the motion.
I seconded it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second by Supervisor Baker to approve the proof of publications. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries. Next on the item is the receipt of bids for HMA paving, full depth reclamation on Lansing Road and Black Hills Road for project Lost, which is local option sales tax. Anthony, we have bids, and do you know how many we have? Mary, a bunch? One. Yeah, that's my guess. And Anthony, if you want to give a little brief description of the project and then the bids, that would be wonderful.
Sure. Well, we have one bid here from River City Paving. This particular project is what I call phase 2 of the project. Phase 1 was replacing pipes and doing some box culvert extensions. This project would include full depth reclamation of the existing road, existing gravel and soil to stabilize the road, and then adding 3 inches of hot mix asphalt to the road. So one bid here from River City Paving in the amount of $739,783.02. $739,783.02.
Motion to receive the bid and refer to the county engineer for consideration.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to receive the bids and refer to the county engineer for his consideration and back to the board. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next receipt of bids we have is a microservicing on Asbury Road and Military Road and Schuler Heights Road and Skyline Road. And for the project for the local farm to market project.
It looks like we have two bids on this one. Okay, the first bid is from Asphalt Surface Technologies Corporation, AKA Aztec Corporation, in the amount of $678,434.35. $678,434.35. Okay, the second and last bid here is from Varner Asphalt Sealers in the amount of $908,668.50. $908,668.50.
Make a motion to accept the bids, receive the bids, and refer them to the county engineer for consideration.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second to receive the bids and have the county engineer refer those back to the board at a future date. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next item is receipt of bids for the courthouse elevator modernization. We have two bids, and then Chris, if you want to give an overview of this project.
Yeah, the reasoning for this project
I
is...
apologize, Chris, maybe you could introduce yourself as well.
I'm sorry. Chris Soder, Facilities Maintenance Superintendent, Dubuque County. The control system in this, in our current elevator is outdated, and it's becoming less reliable as we move forward. Trying to get the controls updated, which includes all the controls and stuff in the cars, as well as up in the elevator mechanical room. This will eliminate some of the breakdowns we've been currently having.
And we had, you said
Yeah.
two bids?
Yep,
Two bids? Okay.
two bids. First bid is from Ports and Construction Company. I'll look through here and see right. They received both addendums. Base bid. Base bid is $268,441. Again, $268,441. And then they have an interim maintenance price per month is $495. Just double check the EIA document. And we received a bid bond from United Fire and Casualty. This one's laid out a little different, for $50,000 from Ford Ports and Construction. And then this one is from Tricon. Let's see, bid bond for, nobody can do them the same twice. 5% of the bid amount. And their bid form is, they received both addendums. Final cost from Ports and, from Conlon is $214,000 even.
Was that
214
Tricon?
Or from Tricon, I'm sorry.
Could you repeat that for me, please?
Yeah, it's Tricon is $214,000 even.
Okay.
And their interim maintenance price per month is $400.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Make a motion to receive the bids for the courthouse elevator project, refer them facilities manager to bring back to the board.
I will second that. Just ask Chris a question.
Sure, we have a
Is that the-
motion, we have a motion and a second for the, to receive the bids and refer them back to the board at a future date by the maintenance superintendent. We are open for discussion.
Yeah, Chris, is this the same, is one of those the same contractor that bid on our exterior project and then was not able to complete the project?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to have discussion about that at some point.
Okay.
Supervisor Baker, would you prefer to have that discussion at a future meeting? Is that what you're implying?
Yeah,
Okay.
not today. I just wanted to make sure that my memory was correct.
Looks like the maintenance superintendent is agreeing with that. So we have a motion and a second to receive the bids for the courthouse elevator modernization. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. And the last procurement procedure, we have a notice of bidders for the bridge replacement on Holy Family Lane, which is project LB121.
Motion to approve the notice to bidders.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the notice to bidders. In discussion, I'll read the actual date for those sealed bids. So sealed bids will be received at the Office of the Auditor at Dubuque County Courthouse until 4 p.m. on Monday, March 23rd, and opened on Monday, March 23rd, 2020 at 5:30 p.m. at the Dubuque County Board of Supervisors in this very room. So those bids are due at 4 p.m. on Monday, March 23rd. We have a motion and a second for the notice to bidders for the bridge replacement on Holy Family Lane. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next on our agenda items, we have public hearings. Let's take a look and see if we have any proof of publications. And we do. We have proof of publications for future upcoming zoning ordinance changes. 5A.
I'll make a motion to approve the proof of publication.
One of those zoning regarding the zoning ordinance modifications to our code, is that also included in this? Because that motion does, that public hearing, that notice is incomplete.
I will make a
Let me-
second to Supervisor Baker's, and I will open a discussion for the proof of publication.
And I agree with Supervisor McDonough. Item G should not be included in this, so I amend my motion to include items A, B, C, D, E, and F.
So we have our zoning administrator, Tammy Henry, at the podium. Tammy?
After speaking with Denise, we're gonna recommend that you deny that the zoning case today. And then, so this would be recommended that you would not put that on for the publication.
Which specific one?
So the zoning ordinance, so it would be ZC,
It's public hearing item number 4 on our agenda, the amendment to zoning ordinance. Is that correct?
that is the one that we're gonna recommend that you do not carry forward right now.
I think we have proper notice for the first 3 cases, which are the requests to move from A1 to A2 by citizens.
Yes, we don't want those ones tabled or,
Forward with those.
yes.
Okay, Supervisor Baker, are you clear? Would you like to amend your motion? Actually, you have a motion and a second.
My format, maybe the format I'm looking at is different, so maybe I better let you guys. I'm looking at the agenda itself, and it says public hearings,
Well, I'm on the proof of
And this was a-
publication, 5A.
And that's right. So the proof of publication was actually done properly. Yeah, I think when we get to item 5G, we would deny it. But
Yes.
What's
so
5G? I don't think we all have this, we're not working from the same agenda.
I'm looking at the agenda.
It could be, there was a revised agenda, Supervisor Baker, that was sent out on Friday. So hopefully you're on the same revised agenda.
And
that was
maybe
sent
I'm
out
not.
On Friday, but we can lead. I think the case is, the proof of publication is accurate, I believe. The proof of publication, is that correct? It's just stating
Yes.
that we're gonna have an official notice for these cases. Doesn't imply that we're going to rule in one way or another on those cases. So the motion is to approve the proof of publication, and we have a second. Any further discussion?
Proof of publication for which items? I think we should be specific about
It's,
that.
you're only looking at the document, and so those would be,
Yeah, they're late.
the 5A is the, you know, I don't know if you can bring up the agenda and you can show it, but you're looking at the Cascade Pioneer, the Dyersville Commercial, and the Telegraph Herald, those notices. That's all you're looking at, what was published for these notices. I'm under the understanding as none of the items published were incorrect.
You're gonna table the one when you get to.
Agreed, we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're
Doesn't,
just not
doesn't
there.
mean, we're not there yet, the action related to the public hearing is coming, and that could
I
be approved,
understand
denied,
that.
or tabled.
But I think one of the problems with the zoning ordinance, the codification is that notice is faulty. That we are talking about a notice issue with regard to the zoning. It's an insufficient notice of public hearing. The publication is faulty. That's why I'm trying to say we
Which-
should
which-
single that out
which-
as a no, that failed to meet the publication standard.
Supervisor Wickham, what we're saying basically is that last line of that publication should not move forward.
Is the notice, I mean, it says Dubuque County will hold a public hearing regarding the proposed county amendment, chapter 1, so on and so forth. At said time and place, all interested parties will given the opportunity, basically, to come to this meeting. What part of that is incorrect?
Well, because the notification was not complete.
The
So
You can't-
notification was not complete.
Yeah, we can't take back what was published. It was published.
Right, I agree.
So we're approving that it was published. We're approving the publication. We'll take
Correct.
care of
It's-
the,
By law,
we'll
we have to
take-
publish these. And
That's
so
right.
did we publish those?
Not correctly. It's my understanding that the last item,
Is there some
the
suggestion?
publication has to be extensive. It has to be line by line. It's going to look more like an insert into your newspaper than a little blurb in the legal section. And that's I guess anyone can help me understand this better, but that,
Denise, I spoke with Denise this morning, so.
Supervisor Dolan, Supervisor Baker, we have Auditor Denise Dolan at the podium.
okay.
I presume that you're under the section for
Proof of publications, 5A.
accepted,
We have a motion and a second.
to receive and file the whole thing. That's fine.
The motion and second was to approve. Is that proper?
Should be receive and file.
Wow.
So you approved it before it was published. The motion should be to receive and file.
make a motion to receive and file.
Well, we have a motion on the floor and a second to approve. Supervisor Baker, would you like to rescind your motion?
Yes, of course.
Okay, the motion has been rescinded, and
Make a motion to receive and file the proof of publication of the public hearings for this morning.
And I second that.
thank you. We have a motion and a second to receive and file the proof of publication. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Thank you very much for that clarification. Appreciate it. Okay, we are on to our public hearings. And hopefully I'm not off on the agenda because I see Stella there. So Was I given the old agenda as
I
well?
think I have the old agenda.
So.
This was the one
maybe
All
from
right.
this morning.
This is the new agenda that went out Friday afternoon.
Yeah, the paper copy we're given
Don't
probably
have that.
doesn't,
And actually, today's agenda fails then too. We need to have Tanya, I just got this morning from
Yeah,
our office.
I did too, and I knew there was two agendas, I should have checked. So
Could
this
we
was the,
please, maybe motion for a brief recess while we
Yeah.
get the proper agendas?
we have a motion to recess. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to recess for a brief moment to receive some additional copies on the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are in recess. Which one was the insert for the public hearing on the proposed property tax levy for fiscal year '21? Stella Rundy, our budget director, is at the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Today is the first hearings on our FY21 budget. The legislation that was passed last year required an additional public hearing, and that's what we're doing today. So I'll flip over to what we published and talk a little bit about that. So this was published in the newspapers 12 days ago or so, and this is a new form that we're using this year, which shows the proposed property tax levies in our general levies and our rural levies, which, as we know, are not our full levy power, but this is what was specified by the state of Iowa that we do. And so in our first column, it shows the current fiscal year that we're in now, FY20, our valuations and our tax levies. The second column shows what our levy would be with our new valuations. So each year we get new valuations from our assessors, and fortunately ours have increased. So it shows our new taxable valuations of $5 billion. If it was applied and we were asking for the same tax dollars as we did last year, it shows what the levy would be under those circumstances. And then the third column shows our actual tax asking. And so for this year, our general levy tax asking is decreasing by 3.43%. That is due to an increase in our mental health levy, which is not portrayed in this form. And then our rural tax levy is increasing by 2.4%, and that is through growth in valuations. So we're not changing our tax levy rate. It's remaining at 3.65902. However, because we had growth in our valuations, we have a 2.4% increase in our tax dollars. So that's the gist of this form, and today we're here to have a public hearing on that. I'll open it to questions.
So I will, maybe we'll just start by opening the public hearing. I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to open the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
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 We are in public hearing, and so I'll first entertain questions for our budget director. I will lead off with one. So you're showing two different funds. Two different areas of proposed percentage change.
Yes.
Do those include all of our funds and all of our categories?
They do not. They include our general basic and general supplemental levy and our rural basic levy. We do not levy a rural supplemental levy, but it would include that if we did. We also have our debt service levies that are not included here, and also our MHDD levy that is not included in here. So it doesn't portray the full picture of what the county levies do, but this is what was specified by the state. This is the state of Iowa form that we comply with.
This was done so that we would have another notice time, another opportunity for citizens to question us and be aware of what the tax levy rate is. I have not been contacted or approached by anyone. Have we received any written comments or any calls here at?
No.
No.
So this is the proposed property tax levy, that's what it's called, but by resolution, we'll be setting a maximum property tax dollar ask for these levies specifically, not for the others.
So it's an incomplete picture even.
It is an incomplete picture of our total levy, and of course, the county is just a portion of any Dubuque County residents' full tax bill.
A more accurate number, if you're looking at tax increases and looking at another form that you've provided, would basically show a 1.82% increase.
Correct.
Basically going from $34,099,000 to $34,789,000. So a 1.82% increase. And so it's another example. I think the state, their intentions were good. Hey, let's have more transparency, but they missed. So just showing 2 or 3 funds doesn't tell the story. It's just like if you were at home and you said, hey, look at my savings account, it's really good, but you had a bunch of credit card debt or you had, you know, other obligations. And so that's more of a realistic number, that the taxes levied on the property, the percentage, the largest number there is 1.82, and then another large number related to some of the rural taxes are at 1.07%. It's a relatively modest growth. And so my point there would be a couple. One, that's more of an accurate story of the amount of taxes that we're levying, which is a modest increase. The second thing is that we've decreased our property tax levy for the 3rd consecutive year. And as far as the history that I've researched over the last 50 years, that has never been done before, without changing any additional services or reducing any employment. So how do you do that? You do that through new growth, new development, and you do that through increased valuations throughout the county. So those are all good, healthy signs about an economy that we have in Dubuque County.
So this form right here that you have up now, was that in our agenda packet?
No, I just pulled it up to show that percentage that Supervisor Wickham was talking about. We'll have a public hearing on this specific form on the 23rd.
So that's the actual document that if we were, in fact, this has been sent to notice. This is out for publication. This tells a more complete picture, not the additional forms that the state created last year.
Yeah, why they didn't include the other funds for an increase, I don't know. So you're not looking at the mental health levy, you're not looking at the debt service levy. You know, those are funds that we tax for, and so you'd think they would be included. But back to your public hearing that we have today in the form. So we are in public hearing today. And so if there's anyone from the public that would like to go to the podium and make a comment or ask a question, now is your opportunity. Seeing no one?
Take a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? All in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing is closed. I assume we have a resolution next.
We do. So part of that legislation was that we accept that form by resolution, or approve that form by resolution. So this is a new resolution that you haven't seen before this year. But this is adopting, saying prior to the adoption of the full budget, we hold a public hearing that we just did by code, and we're setting the maximum property tax dollars for general county services and rural county services.
I'll make a motion approving the resolution establishing maximum property tax dollars for fiscal year 21.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution establishing the maximum property tax dollars for fiscal year 21. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Stella.
Thank you, Stella. Wonderful job on the budget.
I agree.
Thanks, Dave.
We are now back to our public hearings for zoning. Zoning Administrator Tammy Henry. First case we have is William and Dana Brown and James Brown, A1 Agricultural to A2 Agricultural Residential.
Document up here. Okay.
The applicants are requesting to rezone from A1 agricultural to A2 agricultural residential, 2.5 acres to sell the existing home on the farm. The property, located 3.71 miles southwest of the city of Piasta along Pleasant Grove Road East, is legally described as Lot 1 of the Southwest of the Northwest and Lot 2 of the Southwest of the Northwest, Section 32, T88 North, R1E, Vernon Township, Dubuque County, Iowa. The property is owned by William and Diane Brown. Zoning in the area includes A1 agricultural to the north, the east, the south, and the west, A2 agricultural residential to the north, R2 single-family residential to the west, the A2 agricultural residential to the north on zoning case number 27 of 8 was to allow an existing farm home to be separated from the farm ground. The R2 single-family residential on zoning case number 610 of 97 and 7 zoning case number 061798 were for the development of a subdivision. There are no special use permits attached to this property. There are no special rezoning cases attached to this property. 4 rezoning notification letters were sent to the property owners and there was no city notified. Comprehensive Plan, Chapter 9, Agricultural and Natural Resources, page 134, Objective 3.1, and Chapter 8, Housing, page 122, Objective 12.7 may apply to this case. See the area that they're looking to rezone, which is 2.5 acres. And I'll show you on this map here. Zoning in the area, there is an A2 up here. So what they're doing is they've already got a piece platted here. They're basically extending that out, going a little bit larger. As you can see, they're going over a parcel, and they're separating that home off.
Okay,
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to open the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. We are in public hearing, so anyone like to speak related to this case, please go to the podium, state your name and address.
Dave Schneider, Schneider Land Surveying, 906 First Street North, Farley, Iowa. Morning.
Good morning.
Working with Bill and Diane, they're looking to basically sell this home. It's a 2-story house, looking to build a new house on in another location on their farm, something a little less maintenance, 1-story, obviously a basement, but in an effort to sell it, their current parcel that they built their house on back in the 1980s, they're occupying more than what the original lot was. They farmed the ground around it with Bill's brother Jim. So basically just trying to set it up for a sale and then basically relocate to a different portion of their farm. There is some floodplain in this area to the west, and they haven't quite finalized exactly what they're going to sell yet. Probably everything between this parcel and the creek will ultimately be on the lot, but they are going to sell that floodplain area just because of access to it and that sort of thing. So that's existing home and basically just trying to get it so somebody else can purchase it.
Thank you, Dave. Tammy, do you want to comment on the zoning board and their findings?
They voted 5-0 in favor of it.
Thank you. We are in public hearing. Anyone would like to speak related to this case? Please go to the podium. Seeing no one, any further questions for Tammy Henry?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Any additional conversation related to this case? If not, I'll look for a motion.
I had a question for Tammy. Just, Tammy, does this fit the fit the intent of the A2 zoning in your estimation as well as the zoning boards?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the rezoning.
second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the rezoning. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0.
I'll make a motion to suspend the requirement that this amendment be considered and voted on for passage at 2 prior meetings.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Make a motion that the amendment be adopted and that the zoning administrator be directed to enter the appropriate changes on the official zoning map, and that the auditor be directed to arrange for publication of the amendment and portion of the official zoning map as amended in the official county newspapers as required by law.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the zoning ordinance changes as far as this property. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Zoning is approved. Next case we have is Part 2, William and Diane Brown and James Brown, A1 Agricultural to A2 Agricultural Residential.
The applicants are requesting rezone from A1 agricultural to A2 agricultural residential, 1.2 acres, to be able to transfer ownership of the existing house into James Brown's name as an individual. The property is located 2.92 miles southwest of the city of Piasta along Pleasant Grove Road East and is legally described as the southwest of the Northwest, Section 33, T88 North, R1E, Vernon Township, Dubuque County, Iowa. The property is owned by William and Diane Brown and James Brown. Zoning in the area includes A1 agriculture to the north, the east, the south, and the west. There are no special use permits attached to this property. There are no previous rezoning cases attached to this property. 4 rezoning notification letters were sent to the property owners, and there was no city notified. Comprehensive Plan, Chapter 9, Agricultural and Natural Resources, page 134, Objective 3.1, and Chapter 8, Housing, page 122, Objective 12.7 may apply to this case. So this is a situation where they're coming in to take off this piece, and currently it's half owned, so they're trying to get it into just his name. So it's been in the family farm together, and so they're just trying to get it into his name.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Would you like to open the public hearing?
Motion to open the public hearing.
And I will second that. We have a motion and a second to open the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. We're on public hearing. Please go to the podium.
Again, Dave Schneider, Schneider Land Surveying, 906 First Street North, Farley, Iowa. Yeah, working with Bill and Jim, basically they farm this farm that you're looking at as well as land around the previous rezoning that we looked at, as well as some ground to the south, and I guess that's as far as I looked out. And Bill and Jim are both here if you have any questions to direct towards the owners. But they're both kind of intermingled with the ownership. Jim and Bill both own the land under this house. Jim lives there. Bill and Diane own the other house that we just looked at, but the ground directly around it that we're going to expand into is owned by Jim and Bill. So we're just trying to get this thing organized so that they have some flexibility. If Jim wants to remodel this home, that he doesn't have to figure out how to finance it without going through Bill and Diane. So it's kind of just trying to clean up, the intent is for them to continue to farm together. It's just trying to clean up the ownership of the houses on the properties so that they can take care of their own business in their own home. So that's kind of where we're at on this. So if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer. The portion on the other side of the driveway is where the existing drain field is, to the west of the house.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
I will second that. We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0.
Make a motion to approve the rezoning.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the rezoning. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0.
Make a motion to suspend the requirement that this amendment be considered and voted on for passage at 2 prior meetings.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0.
Make a motion that the amendment be adopted and that the zoning administrator be directed to enter the appropriate changes on the official zoning map, that the auditor be directed to arrange for publication of the amendment and portion of the official zoning map as amended in the official county newspapers as required by law.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Zoning is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Next case, zoning case, we have Jesse and Sharon Meyer, A1 agricultural to A2 agricultural residential.
Okay. The applicants are requesting rezone from A1 agricultural to A2 agricultural residential, 1.4 acres to be allowed to build a new home on the property and to separate the home from the crop ground and pasture. The property, located 0.49 miles south of the city of Bernard along Stoffel Road, is legally described as Lot 2 of McDivitt Place Number 2, Section 3, T87 North R1E, Prairie Creek Township, Dubuque County, Iowa. The property is owned by Jesse and Sharon Meyer. Zoning in the area includes A1 agricultural to the north, the east, the south, and west, A2 agricultural residential to the south and the northwest, and 1 industrial to the northwest. The A2 agricultural residential to the south on zoning case number 04-1819 was to allow a family member to build a new home to assist in the farming operation. The A2 agricultural residential to the northwest on zoning case number 05-0917 was to allow for a farm home to be separated from the crop ground for sale purposes. The M1 industrial to the northwest was to allow for a former Bernard school to be converted into storage units. There is 1 special use permit attached to this property, and that was BA case number 1139 of 19, and it was to allow a single-family home to be built on the site of heavy vegetation or steep slope unsuitable for agricultural by reason of nature. There were no previous rezoning cases attached to this property, and 6 rezoning notification letters were sent to the property owners, and the city of Bernard was notified. Comprehensive Plan, Chapter 9, Agriculture and Natural Resources, page 134, Objective 3.1, and Chapter 8, Housing, page 122, Objective 12.7 may apply to this case. So this area here is where Jesse's planning on putting in a home. He did go to the Board of Adjustment. He was approved by the Board of Adjustment. But when Jesse went to the bank would not work with him on the whole property. So that is the need for the rezoning and to follow a plat. Now, Jesse did follow farm exemption with us. He qualifies for farm exemption. He also has a family that owns farming in the area, and he assists them as well in the farming. So his intent is to farm what he can of this land.
And the zoning board, if you want to.
Again, it was 5-0.
Okay, thank you.
Looks like there was maybe 1 letter received, is that correct?
Yes, I'm sorry. Lynn Decker, 17047 Higginsport Road, Bernard, Iowa. She was in favor of the rezoning request.
And that went before the board. They had that
Yes,
for their consideration.
yes, they had that
too.
for that meeting as well, yes.
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to open the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. We are in public hearing. You would like to speak related to this case, please go to the podium and state your name and address.
Jesse, excuse me, Jesse Meyer, 21940 Fillmore Road, Cascade, Iowa, 52032. I'm the property owner, my wife and I are, and we are looking to zone this part of the property off in order to build our home and separate that from the farming ground.
Very good. Any further questions for Mr. Meyer? Thank you very much. We are in public hearing. Anyone else would like to speak related to this case, please go to the podium, state your name. Seeing no one?
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0.
Make a motion to approve the rezoning?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the rezoning. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries.
Make a motion to suspend the requirement that this amendment be considered and voted on for passage at 2 prior meetings.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries.
Make a motion that the amendment be adopted and that the zoning administrator be directed to enter the appropriate changes on the official zoning map and that the auditor be directed to arrange for publication of the amendment and portion of the official zoning map as amended in the official county newspapers as required by law.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, those signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. The zoning is adopted.
Good luck.
The last case that we have is case ZZ02-06-20, Amendment Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 1, C1 Conservancy, A1 Agricultural, A2 Agricultural Residential Zoning Districts, and those changes. And this is where I think we had some discussion. So Tammy, if you'd like to lead us through some of those discussions?
Yeah, as you're aware, we're trying to update the ordinance, and I've made an error in publication. The publication should have given all the documents, and we just gave the official notice. So we're gonna ask that you deny this so we can get it back and get it in front of, and get it changed and get it properly published.
Motion to deny?
I'll second that.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to deny the public hearing for the Amendment Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 1, C1 Conservancy, A1 Agriculture, A2 Agriculture Residential Zoning Districts. Any further discussion?
Yeah, in discussions, should we either ask Mary to include in the minutes the reason, or ask Ann to add the publication error, so that if somebody reads it, they know why we denied it?
Mary said she'll, quote, "It was Tammy's fault."
Yeah.
I just print what they send me.
Mary, do you understand Supervisor Baker's request for documenting it? Okay, yes. And so she will not quote that it was Tammy's fault. Tammy does a wonderful job, and thank you for leading this initiative.
Dave, do you want me to amend my motion to state more clearly that?
I leave that up to Mary if she can put the discussion in and then the motion. But if it's just a motion, then I'd like to have that in there so that people will understand that it was simply an error. Is why we denied it.
I can do a brief description and then, say it was due to publication.
Yeah,
And then complete, and then put your motions in.
there you go. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. The public hearing is denied. All right, next we have approval of plats, 6A. We have a final plat for the Ellerbach Acres, plat number 4. Tammy?
This property is owned by Dale Ellerbach and Ken and Bridget Ellerbach and is located 0.66 miles northwest of the city of Holy Cross along Ridge Road with a total of 132.02 acres surveyed. The purpose of this plat is to separate the crop ground from the building site and the pasture for sale purposes. The survey creates 4 lots. Lot 1 has a total of 25.22 acres surveyed, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 2 is a total of 61.69 acres surveyed, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 3 is a total of 23.72 acres surveyed, and it will be sold. And Lot 4 is a total of 21.39 acres surveyed, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 1 will have a general access to Heiderschlag Road across the southeast quarter section of 12, and Lot 2 will have a 20-foot wide access easement across Lot 3. Lot 3 and Lot 4 have frontages on Ridge Road. There were no additions or corrections required for this plat. The mortgage holder's acknowledgement is signed and attached, and all signatures are current. This plat has been reviewed by myself as the plats officer and has all the required signatures. I respectfully recommend approval. Show you. So as you can see, this lot 1 here, and I'm going to show you some adjacent pictures here. Separated, but it's staying with the same family member, so that is staying in, it's going to be over the acreage that we need for agricultural. Then when you look at this lot 3, coming in and taking in around the house for the separation and coming up here, as you can see, it's coming out. Lot 4 is staying within the family farm, and potentially somewhere along the line, this person may purchase this one, okay? And then lot 2, of course, is already meeting our agricultural guideline. So we have farm exemption filed, we have all the appropriate documents that we need to be able to allow this split of this property.
Okay, any further questions for Tammy related to this plat?
Make a motion to approve the resolution approving the final plat.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for the final plat. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. The plat is approved. The next resolution is approving the final plat for the Goebel Farm, second subdivision.
Okay. The property is owned by Robert Sedmeyer and is located 1.05 miles south of the city of Luxembourg along Clear Creek Road with a total of 19.56 acres surveyed. This property is zoned A1 agricultural and A2 agricultural residential. The purpose of this plat is to separate the new home from the farm ground. The survey creates 2 lots. Lot 1 is a total of 17.27 acres surveyed and will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 2 is a total of 2.29 acres surveyed and it will remain in current ownership and use and will be the site for the new home. Lot 1 will use an existing 30-foot access utility easement off of Clear Creek Road, and Lot 2 will use a 30-foot access easement across Lot 1. There were no additions or corrections required for this plat, and the mortgage holder's acknowledgement is signed and attached, and all signatures are current. This plat has been reviewed by myself as plats officer and has all the required signatures, and I respectfully recommend approval. I'll show you here, there's been a rezoning of this property, so that was done, and now what they're doing is separate that land off again so that they can build their home.
Okay, any questions for Tammy related to this plat?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for the final plat. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. The plat is approved. The next plat is a resolution for approving the final plat for the McDivitt Place, number 5.
This property is owned by Jesse Meyer and is located 0.49 miles south of the city of Bernard along Stuffle Road with a total of 16.72 acres surveyed. The purpose of this plat is to separate the home from the crop ground and the pasture. The survey creates 2 lots. Lot 1 is a total of 15.34 acres surveyed and it will remain current ownership and use. Lot 2 is a total of 1.38 acres surveyed and it will remain in current ownership and use and be the site for the new home. Lot 1 and Lot 2 will share an approved residential entrance, number 19-53 off of Stoffel Road, and there were no additions or corrections required for this plat. There are no liens on or mortgages on the property. All signatures are current. This plat's been reviewed by myself as plats officer and has all the required signatures. I respectfully recommend approval. This is the follow-up of the zoning case that you had just heard, and that is the piece of land that he's looking to separate.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution approving the final plat of McDivitt Place.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution to approve the final plat. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. The resolution and the final plat are approved. Okay, next we will go to our action items. 7A is a resolution for the appointment of deputies, assistants, and clerks. And it looks like we have 3 Sunnycrest positions, all, well, 1 a food service worker and 2 environmental service workers.
Looks like they've been approved, approved by us, date approved as an opening, and we don't have Dawn here. But I see that in the resolution that they were approved in February and early March.
Was there a motion then to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the appointments of deputies, assistants, and clerks. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. The next resolution is approving the designation of the historic Route 20 through Dubuque County. Anthony, you want to provide a little more detail on this?
So, at the last meeting, we had a representative from, the Highway 20 Route Society, or I'm not sure what the title was, but Brian Farr, he was here to discuss this, this project. For Old Highway 20, he's looking to, create that as a, sort of a historic route, and is looking for each county across Iowa to adopt a resolution to support this idea. We discussed at the last meeting that cost for the signs would not exceed $5,000, and I believe it was supposed to be funded through the general fund, I think what was discussed. So there's 2 options. Either we can have the Historic Society purchase the signs or provide the signs that we pay them, or we go through Iowa Prison Industries on our own. I would suggest that we do that. Everything I've heard is that Iowa Prison would be a cheaper option to go about doing this. So we can control getting the signs and do the installation, and then just go from there. So otherwise, that's pretty much the summary.
Related to Iowa, I think he mentioned there were just 2 counties left,
Yep.
Dubuque and Delaware.
Delaware would be the last one after.
And so we'll see if you can, you can talk to the county engineer there and see if we can get that approved.
I actually had another question, though. For the city of Dubuque, I didn't see that the city of Dubuque has approved this. And part of this signage has to go, historic 20 is Loris Boulevard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Oh, is it
how do
really?
those,
Interesting.
how do those pieces fit together?
I'm not sure. I haven't talked to the city about it. And I just remembered Woodbury County has not approved it yet either.
Okay,
So,
on the other end.
The other
right.
end.
And
So
we
I didn't
don't,
know Loris was the old 20.
Yeah. I guess
well, according to the maps that they submitted, it was Old Loris
the
back in
city's involved with this.
1926.
I'm not sure where they are with this.
My son was surprised to find out that he lives on a highway. But I don't know if that's a concern or if we should check with the city when we've already approved going forward.
And this would be the signage that we would be responsible for and paying for would only be within the county right away at this point. Is that correct?
Correct.
So certainly I don't think the board would be against any other smaller town approving a designation within their city limits, but this resolution is really just for the county right away.
Just for the county, yep.
Yeah, it says cities of Epworth, Farley, and Dyersville have approved resolutions. Phase 2 begins at the Julian Dubuque Bridge into downtown Dubuque to Old Highway Road. So I just want to be sure that we're not extending to that.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, just the history is the Loris Boulevard was part of Highway 20 when the old High Bridge was still in place, that came right by the railroad bridge, below the railroad bridge, and came in across by the brewery, by Star Brewery, and then it went up Loris Boulevard. That was 20, and then when they built the new bridge in the 40s, the Julian Dubuque Bridge, it changed. Little Dubuque history.
Yeah. Was that the route that Matthias Loris used to drive his electric car on?
Yeah, and while he was texting.
Right, yeah, he was
Yeah.
notorious for that. Okay. Sorry, a little reverse history humor. Okay, so we have a motion and a resolution. Any further discussion?
I guess I
A
want to be
motion and a
sure
second to
that
approve the resolution.
we are not taking on phase two, which we don't have jurisdiction to do, which is inside the city of Dubuque.
We're just phase one.
Good clarification. All in favor of the resolution, say aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. The resolution is approved. Okay, the next resolution is to approve the Iowa DOT pre-construction agreement for our primary road project, project number NSIPX-36-3, parentheses 56-3L-31.
So, whenever the DOT does, any reconstruction or overlay project on one of their highways, if ever we have a chance to, pave back into one of our side gravel roads, I try to jump on board with that, because, and what this would be is, a 50-foot, paved fillet back from the main line of the highway. It, allows our maintainer operator to stay off the main line of Highway 136 and just maintain up to that fillet. So this is what this project would be about. They are incorporating several side roads there. Macomb Road, Schimmel Road, Steger Road, Claren Road, Rolling Road, and Johns Creek Road, to pave back 50-foot fillets, for a total amount of $33,345 to the county. So I'm in support of this.
Make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion? Thank you, Anthony. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Next resolution is to approve the temporary delay travel restrictions on county roads on June 5th, 2020 for the 18th annual Summer Farm Toy Tractor Ride.
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion?
I may have jumped the gun. Anthony, you have any issues with this?
I don't. Originally, they had one of their, kind of like a secondary route or something going around Dyersville East Road, and we recommended that they don't do that because of construction happening on that route. So they adjusted their routes, and everything that they're highlighting now shouldn't be affected at all by construction.
Good.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. 7E, we have a resolution to approve the final progress voucher for the HMA resurfacing with culvert replacement projects on Ridge Road. Anthony?
So this would be the final voucher signed by the River City Paving to be submitted to the DOT for final payment. This would be the release of the retainage after we've gone through our audit process.
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. The next resolution is to approve the final progress voucher for the HMA resurfacing with culvert replacement projects on Tollgate Road.
Be same thing, it'd just be the final voucher signed by the contractor for release of retainage.
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion? All in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next resolution is to approve the necessary right-of-way documents for the HMA resurfacing and milling with pipe culverts project on Monastery Road.
For one of our pipe replacements on the Monastery Road paving project, we needed a little sliver of ground around the lengthened pipe that we're proposing. So we had to get just a little bit extra right-of-way here, as this would complete the right-of-way process for this project.
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next resolution is to approve necessary right-of-way documents for the RCB culvert extensions, pipe culvert replacements, and grading on Lansing Road and Black Hills Road.
Similar situation, but on Black Hills and Lansing Road, we needed a little bit of extra right-of-way for one of our pipe extensions, and this would be our last contract we need out there for right-of-way.
Motion to approve the resolution?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. The next resolution is approve the necessary documents with Taylor Construction for the bridge replacement on Gun Club Road.
I would recommend this. It's about $40,000 under our estimate, so good competition on this project.
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next resolution is to approve the necessary documents with Taylor Construction for the bridge replacement on Hush Road.
I would also recommend this one. It was about $40,000 under the estimate as well for this project.
Motion to approve the resolution for Hush Road?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify aye.
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 Carried 3-0. Next resolution is to approve the necessary documents with Top Grade Excavating for the RCB culvert extensions, pipe culvert replacements, and grading on Lansing Road and Black Hills Road.
So we seem to be on a good trend. We're also under estimate on this project. I think originally estimated around $340,000, so we're saving a little money on phase one here.
And each one of these probably had 3 to 6 bids.
Yeah.
For the bridge projects and some of the culvert replacement projects, so very competitive.
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next resolution, approve the plans and specifications for the bridge replacement on Holy Family Lane.
Okay, this will be for the replacement of the existing bridge with a 66-foot by 20-foot railroad flat car bridge. We actually already have the railroad flat cars purchased and sitting up at our Farley yard, north yard. Just a pretty standard bridge replacement there. The runaround will be on the backside that connects into that side road there, come off of Monastery. Let's see, what is that?
Make a motion to approve the resolution?
McAndrews Road.
Sorry.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for the bridge replacement on Holy Family Lane. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next item is resolution to approve the necessary documents with Cyclomedia for services. Anthony?
Okay, as a part of our cartograph program, we implement Cyclomedia to provide the images and the LiDAR data that's within the program itself. For instance, the other day I brought up some images on the screen up here. Those images are provided by Cyclomedia. They went and drove those particular roads back in March 2018. A lot has changed since then, especially with paving projects that we've done. So this would be a contract to provide services this spring and drive the roads, and then also provide it again in 2 years. So it'd be on a 2-year rotation, just 2 different drives. Since we are a pretty big project here, and we're helping to sort of capitalize or save expenses on other entities or jurisdictions around us, City of Dyersville wants to tag along with this as well. And they've already done Cyclomedia maybe a couple years ago, so this would be an update for them as well. So there's a total price listed out for $81,375. Around $10,000 of that is for the City of Dyersville. So what's actually Dubuque County's cost would be $71,300 per drive. One thing they don't show on here, and they're still trying to give me an estimate on, is the imaging of the gravel road system. They're having just a little bit of heartburn on what the gravel and dust might do to their $300,000 lenses. So they're still going back and forth on that. I can bring that forward later if we get an estimate on that, and maybe amend the project at that time. So
Is Dyersville entering into a separate contract, or are they reimbursing us for their portion?
So Cycle Media will bill us separately. We'll be one contract here, but there'll be two different billings.
And this is budgeted.
Yes.
Motion to approve the resolution?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for the Cyclomedia Services. Any further discussion? The only discussion point I would have, Anthony, is this an IT function that could come out of General Basic?
No, this would be a secondary road function.
Secondary road function, not IT?
If you want to take it out of IT, that'd be
I mean,
okay
I
with
see
that.
it as, I think, one of the things we have as far as our imagery and, other functions. I think it'd be allowable if you could talk to the budget director and auditor, and if they would agree, I think that would be a better use of those funds to continue to free up our road funds for road, culvert, and bridge projects.
Okay. One of the things I thought could be valuable for other departments is, like the zoning department and assessors department. They have the ability to see in very clear images
Yeah, very good.
what's going on out there on properties. Once the image is 2 years old, it may be a little behind, but, it could expand to other departments. Just a thought there.
So, however, your final landing spot for that budget would not change my support for this. Any further discussion?
Well, just, do we need to be clear about where the funding is coming from? Because we don't have, I don't know where IT's department is, if they can, this wasn't included in their current fiscal year budget. And it was in your fiscal year budget.
It was, yeah.
So my request first would be to see if the auditor and the budget director felt that it's clearly helping roads, but if it could be a IT function, therefore coming out of their department, that would be the first step. If all parties, including yourself, thought that was a good use of the IT funds, then bring it back to the board for eventually a budget amendment in IT. Otherwise, it'd come right out of your budget.
Okay.
Without an amendment, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, it's already budgeted in my program. I'll visit with Nathan and the budget director and auditor and see where we can go from there.
So, I mean, for example, on facilities, the cameras that we placed, those were coming out of IT budget, right?
Correct.
They're taking images and they're helpful and beneficial to the county. Just be able to preserve precious dollars for road, bridge, maintenance projects.
Sounds good to me.
The only point I would make is where it comes from, I just want to make sure it's communicated. Ultimately, it's still going to come taxpayer money, but like the assessor's office, they were just showing us some of the IT new programs that they're using that come with some of the flyovers and some of the things they're investing in. Should those also be IT department related? Just looking at how broad should IT be? How do we build that with some definition?
It's a little separate levy. The conference boards are a little different beast, but you could ask that question, but that would be another step removed both on the city and the county conference boards. This at least would be internal within Dubuque
Right.
County.
I'm just
only us.
raising it as a topic, Jay. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if we're gonna look
Well,
at IT through a different lens.
I wouldn't go through other levying and authoritative boards. My intent would only be the Board of Supervisors and the funds we control. Those city and county conference ones are mixed boards, and you'd need a lot more collaboration to have that happen.
I should, make sure I clarify here too. The contract is for, $71,300, but it'll be for that same amount in 2 years. So I'll have to discuss that with the budget director and
So it'll be every 2
another
years in
time,
the
2 years
future.
from now. Yep. So we'll have to make sure that would, if it's budgeted out of IT, it's again budgeted for IT, out of IT in 2 years.
Well, I guess I'll let that to the budget director and you and our IT director. I will support the motion.
Yeah. And I think if you my thought is this would be available online, available to the public, either at request or through user login, and anyone could use it in the county or may find value in the county. And therefore, I think it's more of an IT general basic.
Let me find that out. I don't know if they make it sort of user-friendly to everybody out in the public. I don't think they have necessarily a limited amount of seats, but I think they try to control who has access to it. So I'd have to find that out.
Yeah, certainly in our public meetings and our other public forums that'd be available.
Sure.
As far as we showed it. Okay, any further discussion? We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those,
Aye.
motion carries 3-0. Next resolution is approving the consent to decree order. Let's take a look. And this is related to the abandoned property in the city of Dubuque. And it was on a little side road I looked at. And I think part of the decree, if like my memory serves me, was to remove any rights to future tax dollars on that property. That's what I had read, and there was a message from the county attorney in his communications with the city attorney.
I'll make a motion to approve the chair, Baker, signing the consent to decree.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to sign the resolution related to consent to decree related to abandoned property in the city of Dubuque. Open for discussion. Maybe one of my questions, I don't know if Mary or others have been here. Have you seen many of these other abandoned properties?
No, I've never seen one.
I've never seen one either. What was going through my head is, what are we waiving by approving this agreement? And is it tax dollars? And this property will go directly to the city of Dubuque. So I'm sure the intent is really good. I'm sure the property is probably a nuisance and abandoned property, as the city states. I just don't know what that tax liability is that we're waiving. Tax liability to the property owner, not to us. So I don't know if my colleagues are concerned about that or want to know the number, or would just be happily be a good neighbor to the city of Dubuque and say it's all yours and we don't want any of the tax dollars. And I don't know if the property is an asset or a liability. Maybe a liability that they're just taking down, and it will cost them $3,000 to demo it. I don't know.
Well, we don't have, the county attorney wasn't able to be present here, so I was examining this from a process mode. I share your concern about how does this property, what are we giving up? I mean, it's going to be titled in the city of Dubuque. I don't know if it becomes a piece that is revenue generating, if they sell it, if there's a way for it to come back. Creta Brumwell brought the suit. It's a city action, court action. Without benefit of the county attorney, without Dawn here, I don't know. He just said we should move forward with this. That was his recommendation.
I believe that County Attorney May had, at least through email, indicated his approval with that.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, Dave. That's what I'm going on as well. But Jay has a question, which is more like about.
But what are we giving up?
Right, what are we giving up, and is it forever off the tax rolls? Are there other questions that maybe the county attorney is not looking at? I guess he's looking at it from legal process, right? We're saying, what are we giving up? What's the dollar amount? I think that might have been referenced, and I think maybe it wasn't there, but.
I did not see the dollar amount. I just saw that we were waiving our rights for future tax revenues and or back taxes. And so if it does go to the city property, it no longer will be taxed. And I don't know what the dollar amounts were when I read the packet. So that was just my hesitancy. I'm not going to jump up and down to block this, but if the board would like to take a different action than approving, I would support that.
My only suggestion then that we would get table it and make sure that County Attorney May is able to be at the next meeting to discuss it. So I'll make a motion to table.
Well, we have a motion and a second to approve, and we're in discussion, so
No,
I'll need to
my bad.
pull back on that motion.
I'm happy to withdraw the motion.
Motion has been withdrawn. We're back
Second
to,
with,
we're back to open.
I also.
make a motion to table.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to table. Any further discussion?
I would like to see, someone's gonna need to help us. It's not gonna be County Attorney May, I don't think, who's gonna give us the tax repercussions forever. That might be, I guess that's a specific question we can ask him or Dawn or someone to, dig in for us to find out what's the next step in this process. Is it title will now then become with the city of Dubuque, they're a non-taxable entity.
Yeah, agreed. I'd just like to have more of a full story. And so it may be as simple as, hey, it's abandoned property, it's really bad, it's a liability, it's gonna cost us $5,000 to tear it down. You have no or little chance to receive any future tax dollars from this. It'd just improve the city of Dubuque and that neighborhood, and I would probably be all for it, but I don't know any of those things right now.
Might be an option for the new land bank if they pass that legislation.
So we have a motion, a second to table. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify aye.
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 Motion to table is approved, 3-0. The next resolution is to approve the Dean FEMA acquisition purchase agreement.
I just wanted to comment on this. We have a work session at noon on this, so I think it would be best to defer this, or I don't know if the appropriate motion would be to table it until the noon work session.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Make a motion to table till the noon work session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to table the resolution till the noon work session. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carried to table the resolution. 2 in a row. Doesn't happen. Resolution to approve the anti-heroin task force grant award. And I'll try to grab that number here for the public. And that award is for $12,667.
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. We're on to communication. We have manure management plans, 8A. Looks like renewals. Is there just one of them, or looks like 1, 2, 2, 3, 3.
There's 3 manure management plans?
Renewals that I'm seeing. 4. I missed one. Okay, 4. So we have
Listed on the old agenda.
Dave Cronlog.
On the old agenda, there
Cronloggy.
was,
We have Phyllis Pork Production. We have New Dawn Pork. And we have AAA Pork. So that is 4. Thank you. Look for a motion to receive and file.
I'll make that motion to receive and file.
second.
We have a motion and a second to receive and file the manure management plans and renewals. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next communication is a damage claim for the Merritt mailbox. Who ran into this mailbox? North side of the road. Driver
Oh, and
called.
driver
Noticed the
denies.
mailbox was down. Said he didn't hit the mailbox. Wasn't me.
So, we would refer this, I believe,
Yeah.
to Stella, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. We're just,
I'll make a motion that this matter be referred to Budget Director Stella Rendy.
along with your receive and file on that motion.
Yes, and receive and file the communication.
Second.
We have a motion to receive and file and to refer to the Budget Director to review the insurance claim. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0 to receive and file. Next, we have appointments. 9A, is there none?
None.
There's none, so we are on vacancies as far as a position right now. And we will have one application, is that right? I thought I saw one somewhere in here.
What?
Nope, my bad, that was the, piece. So we are on to personnel requisitions, is that correct? Okay, so next we have a personnel requisition for the elections clerks. We have 4 positions, and they are temporary positions that are budgeted for a range of $13.50 to $15.50 for our poll workers, right?
Make a motion to approve the personnel requisition in 10A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the personnel requisition. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next item is the deputy auditor for real estate. And that is in the GIS department. And it looks like it is a replacement position. That is budgeted.
I'll make a motion to approve the personnel requisition.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the personnel requisition. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Mary, do we have any tabled and pending items that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, public comments. At this time, anyone may address the board on matters which they are concerned to that person and which are not on the agenda. Please go to the podium, state your name and home address. Please be aware that the board is limited in their ability to respond to such inquiries, and Iowa code prohibits the board from deliberating or acting on items not appearing on the agenda. Seeing no one, look for a motion to recess until 11 o'clock.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to recess till 11. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. We are in recess.
Mary, will you call me back then, please?
Yes, I will.
We'll call you back.
Thank you. All right.